Hi everyone. So today, welcome to GED practice test in mathematical reasoning part. So the questions that I used were taken from McGraw-Hill Education. So this book is used for GED test. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so first question is, what is the absolute value of 7? So if we're going to talk about the absolute value of a number, it's always the positive. Since on this question, it asks for the absolute value of 7, and 7 is already in positive. So therefore, the absolute value of 7 is 7 itself. So the answer here is letter D. Okay. Next question. Which quadrant has positive x values and negative y values? So in determining the values of x and y in a Cartesian plane, we have here four quadrants. This is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, this part 3, and quadrant 4. As we all know that this part, the horizontal line in the Cartesian plane is the x-axis, and the vertical line in the Cartesian plane is the y-axis. So in this, to get the value of the quadrant 1, we have to look on this part. Since on this part here, it is positive. And here, going upward for the y-axis, that is positive. So therefore, the value of Q1 is both positive. Okay? So positive for x, positive for y. For quadrant 2, we're looking for this part here in the Cartesian plane. For the x, it's on the left side of the Cartesian plane, so that is negative. And for the y is the same positive. So therefore, the value of Q2 is negative and positive for the y. For quadrant 3, this part of the Cartesian plane, for x, this is negative. And for the y, it goes downward. So it has both negative signs. So for x, that is negative, and for y, that is negative. And for the quadrant 4, for x-axis, this part here, so it's positive. And then for y-axis, this one here, which is negative. So therefore, the Q4 is positive for x and negative for y. And the question is looking for the positive values of x and negative values of y. So therefore, it's Q4 or letter D in this question. Next, which quadrant has negative x values and negative y values? So we already talked about the values of each quadrant, and then it asks for the negative x values and negative y values. So Q3 has both negative values in x and y. So the answer for this question is Q3. Okay, next question. Albert has a bank balance of negative $65. George has a bank balance of negative $44. Zoe's balance is negative $7. Pat's balance is negative $82. So the question is, who owes more money? It talks about more money or the value of each balances that Albert, George, Zoe, and Pat's have. So in this problem, we have 65, negative 65, negative 44, negative 7, and negative 82. So as we all know that if the value has a negative sign, the lesser number has the greater value. So among all these balances, negative 7 has the bigger value. So therefore, Zoe has the more money to the bank in the bank. So what is the least common multiples of 6 and 9? So in this question, it asks for the common multiple of 6 and 9. So as we all know, we have to get first the multiples of 6 and 9. So for 6, what are the multiples of 6? That is 6, 12, 6 times 3, that is 18. 6 times 4, 24. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 6, 36. 6 times 7, 42. 6 times 8, that is 48. 6 times 9 is 54. And 6 times 10, that is 60. For 9, the multiples of 9 is 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90, and 19. So among all these multiples of 6 and 9, we have the common multiples for 6 and 9, it's just 18. 36, we have as well 36 for 9. 54. So those are the common values that we have for 6 and 9. And it asks for the least number or least common. So among all these common multiples, 18 is the least between 6 and 9. So therefore, the answer here is letter B, 18. Okay, on this part, which expression is equivalent to 9 raised to 5 times 9 raised to 3? So on this part here, we have the base and the exponent. Since in this problem, we have the same value for the base, which is 9. And if we're going to multiply that one, we have to copy the base since it's the same and simply add the exponent. So 5 plus 3, that is 8. So therefore, the answer is letter D. Next, which expression is equivalent to 4 raised to 6 times 2 raised to 6? So this part here, we have different values of base and the same values for exponent. So what we have to do is we have first to multiply the value of base, which is 4 times 2, that is 8. And then since the exponent has the same value, which is 6, just copy the exponent. Okay, so that's the rule in expression for the exponents and the base. So therefore, 8, 6 is the answer, or 8 raised to 6 is the answer, which is letter D. Next, what is 12 raised to 1? So any number to the first power is the number itself. So in this part, 12 is the number. Again, any number that is raised to 1 is the number. So here that is letter C, 12. How about if we're going to look for 12 raised to 0? So in this part here, the explanation for the exponent in raised to 0, that is any number or any non-zero number raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Okay? Let's simplify 3 times 3 raised to 3. So this one, if we're going to simplify that one, it's automatically the 3 has raised to 1 there, but it didn't write anything for that. So we have the same values for base. So copy the base and then simply add the exponent. So it's 1 plus 3, it's 4. So therefore, that is letter B. Next, simplify 6 raised to 5 times 6 raised to 2 multiplied by raised to 3. So this part here is we have to multiply the exponent on this part since it is in parentheses. So copy 6.5, 6, 5 raised to 5, then multiply it by 2 times 3, that is 6. So 6 raised to 6. So this time now, copy the base and then simply add the exponent, which is 11. So therefore, the answer here is 6 raised to 11, letter A. So this part of the lessons in GED is all about the quadrants and the integers, the absolute value, and the base and exponents. So I hope you learned something for today and see you in our next test. test question preparation for GED math.